What the fuck? Them claymore tactics. What a fucking monster. Look at this guy. What the fuck? He's setting them everywhere. You know, even though when I watched a lot of cartoons and shit, I was always into kind of like horror movies and stuff. And especially when I was younger, I was into like sci-fi shit. Now, not so much. I think sci-fi is like really fucking corny. Well, all the movies that are on like the sci-fi channel, like the movies that costed like a couple $1,000s, and they get a dude that used Cinema 4D or some shit like that for like 3 months to make the movie for them. It's just a bunch of really low budget films. But back then, I didn't really give a fuck. I was just sitting there like, oh my god, what the fuck is the monster this time? I wouldn't have given a shit if it was a giant snake, if it was a giant shark, if it was a giant bear. I wouldn't give a fuck if it was a giant pigeon, as long as it was eating people and shit. I always thought that was the coolest shit in the world, and I don't know why though, because it kind of had me fucked up when I had dreams. Like I would have dreams about running away with like a group of people that I had no idea who the fuck they were, running away from like a 50-foot white crocodile or some shit. I always had dreams about like these giant killer carnivores and shit, and I had those dreams a ton when I was younger, and it just kind of faded off, I guess, after I stopped watching a whole bunch of sci-fi shit, which makes sense. Apparently, I'm in a game with John Jones, who has the wingspan of a large carrier. Recently, I had this dream, and I think I was living on like a swamp or some shit. And there was a bunch of other people living in this swamp with me. There's a bunch of cabins and shit next to this swamp, and it was really fucking weird, okay? Because it makes no sense. It doesn't make sense because for some odd reason, there was a giant shark in the swamp. That's a place where like crocodiles and shit would be, not a shark. But it made sense in my dream. I didn't question it. Now it sounds like a scary ass dream, right? Oh, you're living on a swamp and there's a giant ass shark out in the water and there's crocodiles and big ass snakes and shit out there. See, at first it was probably pretty scary for myself. I probably thought it was a nightmare at the time. But something in this dream ended up tipping me off and making me realize that it was actually a dream. I remember meeting up with a group of people in this dream and they were telling me the story about this giant shark. And they had a name for this shark. This shark, apparently, it had some distinct like ridge on top of its head. It had like a circular scar or some shit like on top of its head. The guy's telling me the story about the shark and everything. It's all building up. I'm sure there was like music and shit in the background. You know, the suspense. And then all of a sudden he goes, we named him Necklace. They named the giant shark fucking Necklace. Now, when he had told me the name and the suspense like lifted, it was like a movie moment. After he said the name of this shark, the shark appeared and ate everybody in front of me. Now, the thing is, this shark wasn't an ordinary shark. Not only was it huge, not only did it have a circular scar on its head, and it was named Necklace, on top of that, it was the most fabulous shark I had ever seen. It was pink with like a purple hue to it. So yeah, I had a dream about the most fabulous fucking shark ever named Necklace. Fabulous shark named Necklace.